Cool. Awesome. Dude, thanks for coming in. Of course, and the cow, man. It's I'm blessed as you're now my third guest. It's the first time I've had two people in the room. They doing LA tennis. So yeah, hey, you guys are helping me live the dream.
Oh yeah, I mean you're helping us as well. We're excited to have more people to talk to about what we got going on, our music, and of course just kind of shoot the breeze a little bit so people can get to know who Main Street Free Fall is. We just went through a name change recently.
I know, we're branding, man.
Yeah.
Those are the first ones to hear it, right? And yeah, I'll just serious. I heard it Facebook first. Sure, yeah. The audience is first to hear it. Here to hear first. So that's right. There you go. So why? What's prompted the name change?
We definitely wanted a band name. So when I first started doing my music last year, it made sense why it was AJ Stone. The people that were in my band they were friends of mine, but they're hired guns. They weren't going to stick around. That was fine. And then as Ryan came into the band and we quickly saw that we were going to work together, it was not going to be a hired gun situation. In fact, I'm not paying them, so. So yeah, we all agreed that a name that represents a group rather than a person. Like even the AJ Stone band, it's like, well, it's all about me then. Well, then it's not. It shouldn't be, and I don't want it to be. So, yeah, made sense.
So when I saw you guys, we just figured out when we played together maybe in February. I don't know if you see your first time we all jammed on stage. You got a drummer, and then I guess your drummer left, and then
yes.
Did you go through a couple people and they solidified on somebody? You're still on that hunt?
No, we are still kind of on the hunt. So right now we have a drummer. His name is Josh. He's fantastic. And then we haven't really talked to him what his plans with us are. So if he wants to stick around longer, fantastic. But he's also working on a couple other bands himself, so I don't know.
Best musicians are the busy ones.
Yeah, exactly. and he's good. He's a really great vibe for the band. But yeah, as far as once we get that person, that drummer, we're gonna be unstoppable. So. If Josh wants to be there, that's fine, but there's still a couple things to look at.
So we dove right in, started having that great chat. But why don't you guys start just like each of you just introduce yourselves and, give a little bit of background about music and your journey.
Yeah. My name is Ryan. I grew up in the St. Paul area of Minnesota. And I played in a band for the first time about 15 years ago out of high school in a metal band. And I was kind of a default. I love it so much. I still miss it. But I played in a...
Also, when you got really heavy at your show, you were probably okay with that.
Oh, it's cool. Super good. Sorry. No, it's okay. So I did that for years and really enjoyed it. And then everybody kind of went their separate ways eventually. It kind of grew up and grew out of it a little bit. And I started my family and then had a kid and got married. And there was always this time over the last 50 years where I've been kind of doing music on my own, working on like electronic music and different projects by myself. And so I always had that itch to keep playing. And I just recently, last year, kind of just got to a point in my life where I had some extra time and I need some extra bandwidth to maybe get back into it. And to the credit of my wife, who said, I want to see you back on stage again sometime, because that's what she kind of like. We met each other during that time. And I was like, I don't know if that's possible not at this age, but I'm so far removed from it. And she went on Facebook and said, I found a Facebook group looking for, for advertising for interviews for bands. And AJ popped up to just sent me the link and they're looking for a bassist. And they got back into it a year ago. So it's been 1 year with AJ now. So cool. It's been awesome.
So when we saw you at the red carpet, it was pretty new for you, but
very new. Yeah, we had met in September.
Might have been your third show.
Yeah. And it feels so good. It's, being creative on your own is one thing, but then being able to share creativity with another artist is just amazing. And then obviously he's a really good person. So we were talking earlier the week about how, it's a people business, right? Having a band is at our age, and it's not like we're 16, 17 years old where can you play guitar? You're in the band. Now it's like, can you play guitar? Great. Are you a good person?
Right.
You know? Yeah, okay, you know, we'll play.
Well, I remember what you said, and I thought it, had a good ring to it. You're like, I'd rather be in a mediocre band with amazing people than an amazing band with mediocre people. Yeah, people that like are just you're pulling your hair out. Everything's a chore. Everything's a challenge. And yeah, if money is behind it, if we can quit our jobs and be very, very successful, then I will go over those humps of working with someone that I want to. But right now, this is costing us money and time. So if we're not having fun, it's very questionable.
Yeah. Amen to that. Even, yeah. That's what, most of us, especially if we get older, it's just the underpinning of it, right? It's
Right.
having a good time. Why are you still out doing it?
Right.
Just those late nights are bad. If you get less and less out on the run, yeah. You got to do a couple gigs in a weekend. It's like, and what am I missing out on? Kids, your family, and everything else. So
If at any point there's drama associated with something that's supposed to be fun, it's just like, yeah, why do it? No drama, right?
Say watching a movie you don't like. It's like, why? What are you doing? I hate this movie. I'm gonna finish it. You're like, just stop.
I don't know. Sometimes there are movies you just like, you get you just enough in. You're like, okay, I guess
That's
I
right.
got to make it to the finish line.
I'm also not married, so I don't have to finish a terrible movie.
Is that right?
So I don't have to compromise as much. So I can.
All right, ladies, single guy.
That's true.
But you have to let him off the hook when it comes to watching the movie.
Yeah, cool.
Crap the movies. You're not going to stick with it. So, all right. So AJ, give me some backstory, buddy.
Yeah. So I started playing guitar when I was like 15, and have never really taken it seriously until I was like 25, 26. I joined a band called Sick of Sarah, which was one of the most amazing experiences I've ever had in my entire life. They were touring. So right off the bat, we started off, it was like a 6-week tour. We went to like 31 different states, a lot of living in the band, a lot of, eating gas station foods or whatever. So, which I'm built for that kind of life. Somebody once told me that if the apocalypse came, that I would just squeeze right in and just be okay. And I thought about it. I'm like, you're right. I could eat like cold canned beans and like whatever. So yeah, after Sick of Sarah, I was in a lull. And all my friends around me, I got Jack Swagger, I got Lazarus, my roommate, just other friends that have kept doing the music, and I was jealous, essentially. Yeah, so I really wanted to get back into it. When I started doing my music last year, I had those people join my band to get us off the ground, and then it's kind of funny how it changed. I was just going to have a little bit of fun playing some music. It wasn't going to be anything serious. It wasn't going to be anything that we worried about, 3 shows a year kind of thought. And then as I was doing it, obviously I was enjoying doing it. And then when I had a new band member join, I realized that it now has become something a little bit more than just myself. So if I were to stop doing music, now I would frustrate Ryan, So I got to help keep the ship moving forward just like everybody else in the band. So it's kind of a renewed responsibility that I enjoy. But yeah, that's why we're out here doing the shows that we're doing, talking to the podcasts. We've been trying to put our name out there, which of course, new name change. So
Yeah. Gotta rename it.
yeah, so everyone that knows AJ Stone, they're gonna have to change their brain around, but that's all right.
Yeah. Awesome. So when I saw you guys, you were a 3-piece. Could it be a 3-piece going forward? Do you have any ambitions of kind of changing things up a little bit?
We have like a 3+1. So we have this guy, Kyle Knight, absolutely amazing guitarist. But he was very clear in the beginning that he might not always be available. The right songs with a 3-piece in mind, we will play as a 3-piece. That's not a problem. Kyle just adds that sugar on top. It was funny. I was telling Lazarus, and I think you're gonna like this, Ryan. When Kyle first talked about joining my band as just a when he can kind of situation, he seemed like he enjoyed it, but was kind of like how I was starting up my music, like if and when. I'm thinking that he's much more enjoying being in our band. I mean, the practice that we had the other day where he dragged his kids out, that's a level of commitment right there where it would have been just as easy for him to say no and to get his kids headphones and bring them out. I'm like, I think he's enjoying doing this. I mean, of course he is, but I think he wants to be in the band more than he's given off.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, I mean, from the beginning, yeah, he said he's very hesitant about, saying, I'm committed to this band and completely understand. He came out of a very committed band for years, and then I think he kind of exited the band. He wanted to do his own projects and things like that, and he's been doing that. He's fantastic. But then I think, I have a feeling that he is enjoying himself too, dallying with us.
What does he do? Is he another guitar player? Is he kind of a utility guy? Okay.
Guitar. I mean, he'll play the guitar, which is nice for us live because it allows some space and some kind of availability for AJ and I to work on our singing and, things that we may not be as comfortable with. He just fills in that gap and it kind of gives us some more time.
Yeah. And he has the right energy and attitude and things like that, so.
He's been playing guitars live. He went to college for guitar, or he learned it. Yeah. So when he meets us and we're like, here's a song we're working on, he comes up with a guitar part in minutes, and that's fantastic.
Or I've asked him before, I said, hey, how quickly could you learn this song? I want to play tonight at this show that landed on our laps. And he almost laughs at me. He's like, it'll take you 5 minutes, dude. And yeah, wow. I mean, he's very, very, very skilled.
As serious living musician.
Yeah. Well, and that was again what he did at school. He was saying that they would give him this test where the singer would make a mistake, but he would have to follow the mistake of the singer, which therefore still sounded musically accurate. And like that's a level that I can't really wrap my head around. So he's a very good guitarist.
Just hoping to keep his loins fine.
Don't leave us.
Yes, I look forward to hearing that. It sounds like a new added element that's going to bring a foot a lot to what you're doing. So
yeah,
pretty neat.
Yeah, but yeah, like AJ was saying, like we're always saying we're a 3-piece band. We're writing music. They're a 3-piece band. That way, if we don't want to write music for a 4 or 5-piece band, and then someone can't show up or they're not committed, we will play that song or their song.
Sure.
It doesn't make any sense.
And maybe we do. Maybe we write a song that is ideal for a 4-piece band because we have songs that we use as a 3-piece and something that we only break out when Kyle is there. But that's not the way we're focusing on everything. But that doesn't mean we can't have an option.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, some of our songs, which are 3-piece or at least layered in the recording, Better Off, for example, I can't really hear it without Kyle there. He's so integral to the song. Yes, we'll play without him, but like when he's gone, I'm hearing everything that's not there. It breaks my heart.
Cool.
Well, if Kyle watches this thing, he'll know he's appreciated quite all of it.
Right.
So
yeah, he gave me snuff last time. He's like, I hear you talk about Lazarus. I hear you talk about Jack. You haven't mentioned my name, so I had to give a little segment here.
Yeah, I think he had a pretty good segment.
Lots of love.
Yeah, awesome. So we talked a little bit about the future and kind of where you guys would think about going with the potential 4th member and that sort of thing. So let's take it back to inspirations. Like starting over here, what got you into music in the first place, and what music got you into music?
My dad was musical, so he played piano, and he was kind of self-taught, and so when I was very young, we always had a piano around, and eventually, I touch it, and then I was better than him at a certain point, and as far as musically, I was never. I was in the school band, and I played clarinet and piano from the school band as well. Never really taught, just kind of roll with the flow. But then, like I said, with that first band I was in, I was just a friend of these people, and I was always there while they were playing. Then their bassist went off to the military, and they were like, "We need a bassist like right now." I'm just there. So if I was like, okay, I'll try.
How old were you then?
It's probably 16. Okay, 16 years old, home. And then I loved it. I never thought about the bass before that day, but it was just like a deed for them, and I hopped on. And then I realized that, I played a lot of metal, I listened to a lot of metal, progressive film, progressive rock. Mastodon, he's my favorite man of all time. I've seen him a bunch of times in that country, so loved how their albums were very, where's the word?
Themed?
Yeah, every single album had its own theme, its own feel, very unique. Some of this one about the water, this one's about the desert. You can really hear the tones that are different and full. I love things like that. And then exiting when we got up to St. Cloud, we played a bunch up there. So they went to college there. I just went there to party and to play. We made it on the radio up there in St. Cloud. We did some recordings, and then it kind of fizzled out. In my 20s, then I started working on electronic music. So then make me do my own electronic music, things that were really like funky and bassy.
Okay. So what sort of subgenre of EDM does it fit in?
Like trip hop, but not necessarily trip hop, but more like house music with
Funky house?
Yeah, funky house music with Mariah. She started singing on my tracks, which was new for me a few years ago. Daft Punk, huge inspiration for me. I also music. Yeah, so then, and I was never anticipating getting in another band again, let alone being in a rock band. Kind of thought about being in a band, and it was a metal band. So then, the rest is history of AJ, so.
Well, it's funny what you say about bass players, I think, because it's so many bass players I've talked to have a very similar thing. Like, I was a guitar player, and then suddenly they didn't have a bass player, and I picked it up, and then just stuck with it for 20 years, 30 years.
Just something about being on the backbeat that just does it for people. Yeah, you add all that.
If I was ever going to learn another instrument, then man, it would be the bass,
Yeah, it's a good time.
The drummer, I sit in the pocket anyway, so it's nice to have somebody that phone with, Sure. Take it away, man. So tell us a little bit about your journey.
Yes, I want to say you mentioned bass like that, 'cause that's pretty much what happened with me in Sikasera. I joined Sikasera as a bass player, having played guitar all my life up until then, and
yeah. How old were you then? When was this?
26, 5 to 6. Good. Yeah, that sounds about right. Wow. And yeah, just
a couple of girl.
Yeah. Just loved it. I mean, I on the backbeat, things like that. Finding that lower space is always really cool. I always think about most people want to be the star, the front person. So not everybody can be the star, the front person. Too many cooks in the kitchen kind of thing. So as the bass player and even as the rhythm guitarist, I love that I can allow other people to be in that spotlight, and that makes all of us look better. Rather than this is gonna be a weird example, but I think about the movie Prestige.
Okay.
So they have their little cloning machine, and Hugh Jackman, he keeps on killing his clone because he wants to be the man that comes out of the box. And Christian Bale shares that spotlight with his clone. So they both are the man that comes out of the box. And I just thought that was a very smart way to handle working with other people, is let them shine, let them be the star, and you're going to be right there with them. I don't have to push someone aside to do my art. So that's kind of my mentality of the whole band approach. But yeah, as far as inspiration, sorry, I went on a little tangent there. I have always loved just all music. Like I grew up listening to Michael Jackson. I love Eminem, Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg. I love like Hark. I would like the old pop songs like Britney Spears, Lady Gaga, like dance music like that. I sure you I love it.
Rock it right now. I'd be a new too.
Well, so I used to DJ, and DJing like really opened up my eyes. A DJ for like weddings, okay? And I would play some of these dance songs, and like Lady Gaga's Just Dance. But you throw it on these 15s, and you crank up the volume, and there's people on the dance floor, losing their minds to it. I'm like, oh, I get it now. Okay, it's like now I understand why this song is incredible. Like, it's not cool in your car, but like on the dance floor, it's the greatest thing ever. So, not that we sound like Lady Gaga or essentially any of those other bands, but yeah, it's cool when we get people dancing. I think we kind of sound like Alice in Chains. I'm a big Alice in Chains fan, but still some differences there too. I think that's probably one of the closer genres for us.
Okay, cool. So you didn't. It sounds like you get a humble approach to the whole thing, which is fantastic. But now you are actually like the center of the band or the leader of the band. So how did you make that transition?
Yeah, I mean, it just kind of happened naturally. It's something where I'm really seeing how the leadership that I'm bringing to the band, how it's working. And by me not putting my finger in everybody's chest and saying this is what has to happen, while still saying, hey, I think we should do it this way, it has been so beneficial. It's been so beneficial, I can't believe people do it other ways. So, to be a leader, you need to have people follow. And I think right now my leadership is showing because the people in my band are behind me and they have my back. I think that they believe that I have their best interests. I believe that they want to help grow the boat, and therefore we're moving. So yeah, it's kind of, I mean, just as much credit belongs to every person in my band as it does me, because we wouldn't be here without each other, and I think we all realize and appreciate that. I am not a band without these guys. Like, I've done open mic, solo acoustic stuff, and it's fine and it's fun, but you're missing the whole experience there. So
It's interesting you say that because there are a lot of extremely talented musicians that I think get to a certain point where they don't want to deal with people anymore, like other people in the band, whether it's a money thing or just like a, bullshit thing. Just don't want to have to deal with it. But yeah, I think the band dynamic is, it's like marrying four people.
Right.
And you really have to work that all. But it's so wonderful when it gels and it comes together and you find the right group of people to make beautiful music with.
sure. Well, and I get it. I mean, it's not easy. Like, when we have a show, I have to connect with, and it's easier because Ryan has a schedule that I can have months ahead of time. I have a 9-to-5 job. Kyle has a 9-to-5 job. So Josh is a little bit newer with this scheduling. But when I'm booking the show, I have to convince 3 other people to be there. And, if it's a drive, same thing. It's like, well, if you guys want to go to Rochester, it's like, well, we got to drive to Rochester. It's way easier for me to pick up my guitar and go to any of these places. And money all goes to me if I'm doing it solo. It makes more sense to play solo. I understand why people do it. I just have so much more fun playing in the band. So, and that's why I do it. It's that simple.
Interesting. Cool. The other guy, one of my interviews next week, Tony William, or him, or he's one of those guys that he's written, he's toured, he's been in big band, writes his own music, stuff like that. But now he's just like, all he does is play by himself and a looping machine on weekends, and he does a great job at it.
Sure.
I certainly love the dynamic of having other people with bounce ideas off of,
right,
writing music.
Well, and you were saying that you guys were going to start working on some more original music, aren't you?
That's what we're doing. Yeah, our last show was not last weekend before
At
Terminal, and we're not gonna play anymore for the winter. We're gonna put some neat tunes together, and then we've got a show at Ziggy's at Hudson in January. So we're also have to work on more sets of music. Got like 90 minutes of music. We probably need about double that to be able to play a full.
So you got a whole set
and entire nights. Yeah, which I also like. I like, organizing things where there's like 4 or 5 bands. It's more fun for me, and I think it's more fun for the crowd to have that variety going on. So we'll still continue to do that. But
Well, and I told you about the north.
this is exactly where, this was the question I couldn't remember, but that's where I wanted to head. So yeah, so tell me more about that. Tell me what you're doing there, and tell me what it does, and what's your vision for it. Where's it going?
Yeah, so the North Star Original Review is don't know if I want to call it a company. There's no official LLC or anything like that, but a group of people working on a like-minded goal, and that's a company, right? So my roommate started more. I've been booking bands for it. We've kind of spread out a little bit more, but mostly it's been at Midway Saloon in St. Cole. We will have 7 bands each night.
7 bands.
7 bands. Each band gets 20 minutes or about 4 songs, whatever comes first. We provide backline, which is not my favorite part about it, but that's all right. It's all my stuff, which means I get to bring it a lot. And you see it is not small.
I like doing that too. I know banners. So setting up the drums, run all the cables.
Yeah.
But
And sometimes, there's nights where it's harder than others, for sure. But yeah, so it's been amazing having the 7 bands there. We've had other shows at Day Block. As a matter of fact, we just started working with Red Carpet.
Oh, nice.
So nice. Yeah, when those stars align, we'll do something again back at Red Carpet, and it'll also be fun.
Same sort of scenario, 7 bands or
No, these are just simply working with them. So I recently got 2 bands for one of their shows.
Oh, nice. So help kind of find the bands and book them.
Yeah, it's also helping the name of Nor get out further. We had a touring band come through the Gin Mobsters a month or so ago, so that was really cool that I got to have a touring band underneath my belt. We didn't even play. I'd set up a show for them. But yeah, so Midway and stuff. It has been fantastic as far as networking. I have met so many musicians. There I call them friends. Like, there's always those steps between a working capacity and a friendship, right? And some of them are becoming more and more friends. We'll hang out outside of music. It really seems like everybody has enjoyed the time there. So one of the reasons I wanted to bring it up, when you guys have 4 songs or 20 minutes or whatever, let us know. We'll get you in there. I mean, it'll be done. It's a great time to meet. We had like 75 people in Midway Saloon last time, so it was busy.
Nice.
Yeah, so it's a lot of fun.
We do look forward to it's not the only thing that we're driving towards, but yeah, you told me about that. I was like, yeah, we already wanted to work on more original tunes.
Right.
It's always been our goal. When the brothers and I first started the band, we had come out of another band together or whatever. We started this one. We wanted to do a little bit on heavier. We wanted to do more stuff that we actually wrote. But then it's like, but you just have to start working on your chops, and you're just trying to work on your own stuff over and over again. Yes. Anyways, we mixed in a little cover stuff, and then we ended up doing more covers than we did originals for now. But yeah.
Well, the cover thing's a lot of fun,
It is, yeah.
I will say, I remember you were from your guys' performance at Red Carpet, and you played a bunch of covers, and then it was an original, and I was like blown away. I said, wow. I don't remember what the song was, but I remember thinking to myself, this is really cool. This was really up my alley. And then, I talked to your guitarist after the show, and I was like, do with that. That was pure. So I'm looking forward to hearing what you guys come up with. Appreciate that. That was very good.
Well, it takes kind of a dual brain there too, because I've seen other bands, cover bands, that start doing original music, and it's almost like they're learning all their skills from their covers, which a lot of us do. We learn a lot of new tricks from new songs, right? But then they'll play this original song, and it's familiar because it sounds like the other covers, but it's not, because it's a new song. And I feel like that kind of takes away from the feeling of a song, where it'll all sound generic, I guess is a good word. So, first of all, you guys have a wide variety of the covers that you do, so it's kind of hard to sound like the covers that we do. So it's just such a variety. And yeah, we could see the originality in the music. So keep it up.
Appreciate this. Yeah, it's encouraging to hear that from the guy that are out there doing it as well. So I appreciate that a lot.
Sure.
Yeah, we have fun with it, and that's what we're doing. We're still having a good time, right?
Yeah, well, that shows. Your stage presence. It's something that I've been wanting to work on, my stage presence. And every time I have the gumption to go up there, I don't have the stage to do it. Like, there's stuff on the stage. I only got this much room to work with or whatever.
Planning on doing, Big Art Saloon is famous for a pretty small stage. So one of the smaller ones.
The Midway Saloon is fairly small. It's a fine stage, but there's usually an organ on stage that eats up a lot of the space.
One that you can't move.
Right. Well, we can move it, but it's kind of a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have a show coming up here this weekend at Center City at Tony's Bar and Grill's Naughty Fest.
Snotty face. Get the insane. So snot. She's
It's a Naughty Fest.
There's a bunch of kids blowing their nose or something.
Don't touch anything. So I'm gonna really try to bring a lot of energy to that stage. My problem is I have to sing. So every time I run away from the mic, I have to run back to it to sing. So we'll see.
Yeah.
Hired a photographer, so we want to have cool looking photos. Maybe I'll jump her a little bit more or whatever.
Yeah. No, we really grateful for him for the camera. The stage presence that you guys have is phenomenal. Yeah, very inspiring.
It's funny because you had mentioned the story that you kind of like your wife kind of pushed you back in. Yeah, she saw you there and really respected you there. And I run the catalyst for my wife actually because she's gone through, like we all do as you get older, right? You go through these different versions of yourself and you're trying to figure out where your ego fits and like what's the, what are your talents and then what do you really want your new things to be? And so she's gone through those changes a lot and maybe 2 years ago, she thought she didn't want to be on the stage anymore. She had come out of a cover band here locally and it kind of, wasn't the greatest of terms, like kind of breaking up or whatever, her getting out of the band. And then she just didn't want to do it. She just wanted to be a sales lady, wanted to do, many other things. And I was like, babe, you got to understand, when I met you, that's where I saw you. You belong up there. And she really does. She's got such a tremendous stage presence that not a lot of people can pull off. Now she joined a new band called Pink Taco.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's all ladies.
Sure. I've heard
Absolutely all about the Pink Taco.
Nice.
and nothing was wrong with that.
32. Yeah, cool. We got 15 minutes left if we want to take it up. We don't have to.
Yeah, no, I'm sure we got stuff that we can go over. As a matter of fact, we are going to be going into the studio pretty soon to start work on a new album. Yeah.
So which studio are you working with?
We are very fortunate that we get to work right with Kyle Knight at his studio. So he just has a home studio.
Oh, cool.
And we did a recording with him recently with one of our songs, Cash Me Out, that Ryan actually wrote. Nice. Probably one of our more popular songs, right?
Either right.
Yeah, it seems to go over really well. Yeah, so we're going to do... I have this really interesting picture from a decade ago, and I really wanted to use it as the album cover. It is a fan of Sika Sarah took this picture. I bought it from her. It was a heart-shaped mirror that had fell and broke, and as she was holding the piece that broke from the mirror, you could see her shirt, and it said "Don't be sad" on her shirt. I had to flip the image so that you could read it, but I was like, this is such a great natural photo, a broken heart, but don't be sad. So I really wanted to do an album with that picture, and basically that album's gonna kind of put a pin in AJ Stone, if you will. Like, all the things that I wanted to do are really gonna be accomplished with that. And then all the things that we want to do as a band, which is already is going to be a band album anyways, but it gives me my last, I don't know, a moment of me in the spotlight, and then I can turn over a bigger, better focus of us, so I'm excited about that, and it's more personal to me than I'm sure anyone else in the band. The picture, the music is equally personable. Ryan has 2 songs that he wrote on it, so great songs. What do we think? Like five songs I think we talked about?
Yeah, I think EJ put it in a really good way. It's kind of like, putting a pin in it. It's kind of like just wrapping up a kind of a chapter to music. Because when I came into the band, AJ had written so many songs, and I learned them. And obviously, I've stayed in the band because the music's excellent. But then now we're starting to write music pretty naturally and pretty frequently.
Yeah.
Together, and it almost seems like this ball is going to start rolling really fast to get really big. That's what it feels like to me.
I can see that.
We might get ahead of those songs that need to be stamped, put together. This is that chapter. We're moving on. I don't want to forget about these songs,
Right.
You know. So I think this is a good kind of like, we should slow down, pause before it gets out of control with the new music, because we're doing a lot of play new brand new stuff right now. And
Well, yeah, because before, and I'm sure every artist does this, we probably all have so many half songs, right? We probably have so many songs that we started, and maybe we didn't have the juices flowing right. Maybe you were just like, it's not interesting. It's cool here, but it happens too long. I need to mix it up, and we will put these all in a file somewhere. Well, now we can share those half ideas, and maybe I have half an idea too. And the way my brain works, and I'm sure, similar to others, I am so good at like references and new ideas off somebody else's idea. Somebody can say something, and I can think of 1,000 things about what they said, but I need them to say it first. So I have ADHD, and I have struggled with it my entire life. My brain is an absolute mess, but I've also started to use it more as a superpower. And one of the things that has always helped me with it is, yes, I have a lot of thoughts that go through my head all at the same exact time. It is a zoo up there, but that also allows me to have faster thoughts and more thoughts. So when somebody says something, I can think of 100 things, but then I'll start filtering, and I'm like, all right, there's probably 2 things that I actually want to say, even though my brain just completely releases a valve. So it's like, here's every idea you've ever had ever. It's like, don't stop. So yeah, it's good to have a new dynamic to help navigate that kind of thought process.
yeah, I mean, absolutely. When you write songs by yourself and you're responsible for them, and you get to a point in the song where you're like, I don't know about this, I don't know what happens next, and then it just sits there, and then to be able to have a second person to be like, this is what I hear happening next, this is what I hear, and you're like, oh, that thing, I would have never thought about that, and then also you write something together. It's fabulous.
And it's pretty fascinating.
Forever love though.
Absolutely.
So, the show is called Minnesota Music Note, right? And what I had aimed to do was just kind of to have these conversations and explore, get to know people that I've met out through the music community better, even people that I haven't met, and just kind of provide some shape to it. So I want to get your opinion on the Minnesota music scene. Like, tell me about it. How do you feel in it? How do you feel it where it's going? How do you feel where it's come from? Just what are your thoughts?
I'll start because I probably have the least experience in this. I know AJ has more experience. But I mean, I was not in the music scene for the last 15 years, and when I was in the music scene, it was in St. Cloud. So I have almost no experience in the metro here. But getting on to AJ's back and kind of riding him like a backpack through the music scene here, it's amazing how many people are involved, how many people you see all the time, and you'll be 20, 30 miles away from home, and then here's this person that I saw over there the last time I played, and the connections, the bands that people are forming out of other bands, and I didn't realize how many projects people were involved with. People, you're in a band, you're in the band. No, it's like they're in 5 bands and they playing 5 different instruments. As far as the music scene goes, I think something that we're going to be working on in the future, which is hard for us, I think, is the social media aspect, right? People are on TikTok and people are on Instagram and things, and I don't have either of those things even, or profiles for either of those. But talking to people, the music scene, sounds super important, so yeah.
Yeah, I mean, definitely social media is important, but I think a lot of people get hung up on like this is the end all be all. And I don't agree with that, but I also do understand the importance. The important thing is and always will be word of mouth. Why do people want to come and see? Now, if you can spread your word of mouth on TikTok, which is why people are using social media, that's fantastic. That makes a lot of sense. We've seen TikTok songs where I've known bands because of videos I've seen on TikTok. But if you're a good band, you're a good band, and it's gonna be that simple. It's no different than a good movie, a good TV show. Like, you could have a good TV show on YouTube Premium, and people would pay for the subscription if it's good. They will navigate to it. They will fall right to, gravitate to it, I should say. So right now, the mini Minnesota scene, the St. Paul scene, is booming. I mean, it's oversaturated. There's a lot of bands out there. So we have to be a good band. We have to be true to ourselves. We have to be interesting. These are going to be the things that make us known. Yes, playing shows are important. I also don't agree with playing too many shows. I don't think that's the way to get your name out there. Is a way, and it works for some people. It definitely does. But I think the biggest thing is being interesting on stage. Why do people want to see us? And I think we're writing music that's very true and honest to us. I think it's relatable. It's not a little bit complicated, but it's interesting. So I think these are going to be the factors that help us in the local scene. It certainly has helped us with the venues, our professionalism, because we've played shows where it wasn't the greatest show. We're a new band.
Sure.
So that's just kind of something that we have to take on the nose. I am using my my superpowers of booking to make sure that I can line us up with good bands. So we played a couple shows that, we maybe would bring 10, but everybody else would bring 20, and then our next show we have 12. So it's just moving like that.
One fan at a time.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think we're very new, and these things shouldn't be rushed. And I've been a part of this for a year, and I feel like we're moving at the right speed. We're not doing anything too drastic. Just kind of like crawling before you walk and walking before you run.
I think it's important too. It's a good vibe, right? And the two of you are kind of like feeling like you're in the right trajectory together, because it's in bands that I've been in too. It's just a lot of times the reason one person leaves is because they have really different ambitions for the band or for themselves or whatever it might be, and that's probably a good time for that person to kind of move on. But
Sure.
when you've got a good gel, of human beings that kind of have a similar trajectory, like you say, that's really powerful.
Yeah, absolutely.
So to wrap things up, I like to get you guys to tell me who should be nominated to be on this show next.
Oh, I could fill 45 minutes, but just that.
All right, well, let's stop the recording and start over.
Yeah, so with me now working with so many bands,
You can only pick one person.
only pick one.
One person or one band. And Ryan will get to pick two, but you can only pick one.
We just played with recently Excelsior.
Okay.
So then it's just
XLTR?
XLCR.
CR.
I don't think I've heard cells for.
Okay.
Yeah, they were fantastic. Is that a good way? Yeah, that was our midway show. I've one married now. But yeah,
You guys send me some contacts too.
I will. Yeah, and again, I could send dozens of people that would be great for this.
Cool.
People that are doing more than us. They've been in the scene longer than us. So yeah, people that have more reputation, more of an audience.
I'm also not in a rush though.
Sure.
I like starting with my friends and people that I've met. Or, what I mean? Well, this thing will grow on its own.
Yeah,
But yeah, it's good. I know you know a lot of people, and it's good to
absolutely.
couldn't be able to call on you for that. So
Absolutely. Yeah, please do.
turn to the tables.
Oh yeah, I would say Kyle Lang.
Okay.
Kyle Lang. Kyle, like we talked about his guitar playing, things like that, which is just one dynamic of him, right? I think he'd be great on here. He's about our age. He's got a family of his own, but he's working on his own project. He's about to release an album.
Yes, on the 24th.
Yeah, so he's had a brand new album coming out that we haven't heard. Nobody's heard yet. We've heard him play live. He's incredible, and he does recording for us, and he's about as good at recording music as he is and mixing and mastering it as he is playing. Heat editing, palette.
Okay.
It'd be awesome.
All right, bonus question.
Best place you've ever played, best show you've ever had.
Ooh, this is
It could be a venue. It could be the way that the night went. Could be
Interesting question.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So I've had stages that I've liked more than others. Like Red Carpet's one of the best stages I've ever played on. But as far as our greatest show that we have played as a band, I'm gonna say at Charlie's Eatery in Rochester. Yeah, it was absolutely unexpected. So we never had heard of Charlie's Eatery. We kind of thought the show was gonna be a bust. We went with Rochester. We knew we were gonna have people. Brian brought some family out, but like my friends aren't gonna drive to Rochester. That's understandable. And we had people there that just wanted to dance. So to songs that I don't think about my songs as dancey, even though they're upbeat and they're got a good tempo. Sure. But yeah, so we had these ladies out there dancing to Static, dancing to Brain Dead. Loving the night, and it was so fun. Their energy was so awesome that even though we were playing on the floor, and that sounded fine, but we were playing on the floor, no real stage, but the best energy that we played to.
Chance and